what you're thinking. Ho, 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 am I right? This is Main Character with Yasmin, and I'm your host, Mrs. Claus. Ho, 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 baby. Okay. Long story short, if you're listening, I am in my bathrobe, and I'm not saying that or doing that to make you feel the joyful spirit of butterflies in your stomach and to really turn you on. No, I actually don't give a shit about that. I'm actually doing this because I'm in a time crunch and I really want to get this episode out when it is expected to be out because we have a lot to talk about today. We have a lot to discuss. We have a whole year's worth of things to discuss. I mean, talking about 2023, I feel like this year has gone by so fast. This is my holiday episode. This is my New Year episode. And we have a lot to get to. So class, I have a cappuccino. I lied. I have an espresso in my hand. So class, are you strapped in, strapped on, buckled up and ready to get at it? Let's go. I feel like that was like the start of like RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, and ladies, start your engine. May the best woman win. Well, it's not woman anymore. It's person win, right? Cool. I'm gonna have a sip of my espresso now. Y'all, do you guys mind if I drink my espresso? Do you actually mind if I take a sip? Do y'all mind if I just, cool, got it. If you are watching the video, and if you're listening, just to paint the picture, I have a beautiful Christmas tree. I have some decorations. I have some elves on the shelf here. And listen, we celebrate Christmas at my house, not for like the Jesus Christ, like coming and he was like born to like the Virgin Mary, which is iconic. We don't talk about Mary enough. I feel like that needs to be talked about and studied. Why? I mean, misogyny, but like also, why don't we talk about the Virgin Mary? That is such a slay. Like she didn't fuck at all. She didn't have sex. She literally didn't have sex. And then she had a baby. And that baby became Jesus Christ. That's crazy. Anyways, I just want to start from the top and say happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, happy days if you're just trying to live, laugh, and love. And actually this time means nothing to you and you're just live, laughing, and loving. Like, cheers, honey. I want to do an ASMR episode. Is that something that you guys would be interested in? Let's discuss. So for today's episode, I have a couple of things I want to get to. We're going to make this really raw and really visceral, right? My hair is wet. I'm in a bathrobe. I just got out of the shower. And Mrs. Claus, Mama Santa, has a lot of gifts to give. If you look at me, I want you to look at me. If you're looking at me, I am the depiction of Santa. Like I would identify, what do I identify as? Santa Claus? I do. And you know what? I want to talk about the first time that I found out that Santa Claus wasn't real. This has nothing to do with the episode, by the way. I just feel like it's a funny story. It's also very main character-esque, I feel like. I remember I was like so up Santa's arsehole. Like I was like, Santa Claus is real. You know what? God might not be real. Santa Claus, that man, I've seen him. What I have seen is Santa with my own two fucking eyes. And the reason why I'm not saying fuck is because my grandmother's in the house, my dad's in the house, my aunt's in the house, and I know what they're going to say. Yasmin, stop swearing. But guess what? It's my podcast. This episode's going crazy already. Okay. Long story short is I worship Santa like he was the president of the fucking United States. I was like, this is the best time of year because I'm getting gifts and I love like the Christmas cheer. I love listening to the music, putting out the cookies and the carrots for the deers, and the milk. Everything was great. Imagine if Santa actually never drank the milk and he's like, I actually prefer oat. That's cunty. And so I personally wrote a letter to Santa and I was like, I want this, but most of all, I want world peace. Santa, if I could just have one thing for Christmas, it would be world peace. And imagine if he was like, and I think that's an exact reason why Santa isn't real, because we don't have world peace. Santa said, you know what? You can get anything else you want on your list except for world peace. Now that's something I'm going to have to deal with. But I wrote a letter to Santa and I was like, Santa, like I want world peace. I want just to live, laugh, and love. I want Lebanon to be free and like happy, blah, blah, blah. And I remember I got a letter back from Santa and I was like, oh my God. Santa just fucking wrote me an essay, actually. It was a full page paper, like you're writing an essay, like handwritten, everything. And capital H, he was basically like, proud of you for all that you're doing. Although I think you should be kinder to all your family members. I don't think you're kind enough. Like, you actually have a lot of growing to do, blah, 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 blah. But I'm very proud. Santa, did you mean that? And I was so shocked. Also, I look sick right now. I'm actually really healthy right now, but I look sick. But I was so shocked that I didn't even know what to say. I after that had such a bad taste in my mouth for Santa that I felt like I was so disrespected. Like, I allowed Santa fucking Claus to disrespect me like that, and I was like 8. But found out it was actually my uncle, who I'm not close with. He was just staying with us, and he wrote me a letter, and he said I need to be kinder. And now I'm not very kind to him because I don't need to be, because I resent you. That's trauma. That's drama. Drama. Somebody say drama. TD. What does TD stand for? No, I'm thinking about TW, trigger warning. Is this what ADD feels like? Before you say canceled, I actually do have it. So go fuck yourself. A couple things I want to go. We're going to have a debrief of the week. And then after that, I want to discuss holiday blues, because I know this is a really hard I feel like I'm in an AI thing right now, that this is not real, and I'm actually not in a background where there's a Christmas tree. But I want to discuss the holiday blues and not starting I was about to say 3, but honey, I think we're there. World War 4 at the dinner table for your holidays. I want to discuss 2023 in a year. It's like, it's like your Spotify Wrapped. Also, if I wasn't on your Spotify Wrapped, I forgive you this year, only because I launched 2 months ago. But next year, if I'm not on your Spotify Wrapped or Apple Wrapped, we have to have a conversation. I'm going to have to sit you down at the table, and we're going to have to discuss. Okay? I also have a couple things up my sleeve. I have a list of ins and outs for 2024. I have predictions. I'm not saying I am not a trend person. Remember when I said the chokehold of a trend episode, and now I'm like actually the chokehold of a trend, because like the Gorilla Grip, Gucci flip-flop grip it has on my neck is so startling. But we're going to talk about that. I have some aspirations for myself, and I don't ever want to say that it's New Year's resolutions, because I have thoughts on that, and we'll get to that on this episode. Stay tuned. Debrief of the week. Debrief of the week. What has happened this week? Well, the Pope said that priests in the Catholic Church can bless and give grace and love to same-sex couples, which is a huge win for the LGBTQ LMNOP community, which is amazing, but a couple decades too late, if I say so myself. But overall, love the Pope. What else happened this week? Elon Musk visited the Vatican. Don't care about that. What else happened this week? Still people dying in Gaza, Sudan, and the Congo, but who's counting, right? And if you didn't realize that was satire for the right, who's counting? Because I'm counting. Me. Another thing that happened literally today, and I'm recording this on the Tuesday before it comes out on this Thursday, is the fact that the Supreme Court of Colorado decided that they're taking Donald Trump off the ballot. This is historic. If you don't know how big of a deal this is massive, because people in Colorado who don't want to vote or people in Colorado who want to vote for Trump won't even have the option to vote for Trump. So that's a huge win. It's kind of like choosing, do you want the devil you do know or the devil you don't know choosing in this election? Biden or Trump? Which grandparent am I going to choose to run this country? That's basically what we're asking. And I used to be so hurrah for Biden, but now I'm just like, you literally don't even care if I live or die. So there's that. What else happened this week? I feel like everyone's kind of counting down for the holidays. The stock market for companies like Starbucks has completely plummeted because of the boycotts, which is huge. And whenever people say boycotts don't work, you can go fuck yourself, because they actually do. Oh, this is bad. Okay, I wasn't actually planning on saying this, but I'm going to say it because I am honest and vulnerable with you. You are my team. Listen, my main character family, should I be canceled for this? Be honest. And I'm okay with if that's the case, let me know and I will put out a Notes app apology saying I'm so sorry. Okay? I'll do a celebrity apology. This morning, I woke up to take my grandmother to an early doctor's appointment. It was at 7:30 in the morning. Okay? Which should be illegal. Sorry, anything before 8 a.m. should be illegal. And I'm not saying that. Scientists are saying that because you need 8 hours of sleep. I didn't write the rules. Biden did, which means I shouldn't listen. I didn't write the rules. God did. But then that was me singing at the Vatican. And so basically, I was up really early and I didn't have time to make coffee. I actually made time to have some hot water and lemon, which we'll get into later in my trend time on this episode. And I really needed a caffeine. I was like, I couldn't keep my eyes open. I was exhausted. The only coffee place near this doctor's appointment was a Starbucks. Like, I'm literally throwing up. I did get myself a small coffee. And I want to say, my sister shunned me for it. She hasn't spoken to me all day. I did have a Starbucks. It's my first time in 2 months. I want to say I apologize for going against the boycott. Please don't cancel me, but if you do, my name's in your mouth. But it won't happen again. And I'm so sorry. Okay. What else happened this week? I'm hot. What else happened this week for debrief of the week? I came home for the holidays. My whole family's home, which is crazy. Last night, we had some people over, and I feel like there's always one kid in the family that always, like, when they were younger would like make plays or sing songs for them. Like when I was younger, I used to sing Breakaway by Kelly Clarkson. But last night they asked me to do a stand-up routine, my little stand-up sketch that I have under my belt. And I was nervous for this because I'm a little rated R, and my parents kind of see me, and like the people around us see me as like this like really wholesome young woman who is an actor and just loves Shakespeare so much and just loves the stage so much. But I'm also more than that. Above being a woman, I'm also that girl. Does that make sense? Sit with that. And so I did a sketch about, and I did my like little airplane sketch, which if you really want to know what it is, it's on my Instagram. And I talked about how, like, if I ever got into, God forbid, a plane crash, I would not only hope, I would want and strive for it to be the hottest corpse alive. That's for an ego thing. That is for an ego thing. I want to be so hot when you drag my corpse off the whatever sea, the Adriatic Sea, the Mediterranean, whatever sea it might be. I want the mortician to want a necrophilia in my ass. I say what you will about it, but that's something that I need to be okay with. I always put a full beat on. If not a full beat, I look my fucking best when I go to the airport. That's just that. I can do a whole episode on why I look so good in an airport, but that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. And so I did everything and they all loved it. What can I say? I'm the people's princess. I'm the people's pillow prince. I'm the people's princess. Okay. 2023. Everyone, give a round of applause for yourself for surviving this year. Round of applause, baby. I am so proud of you for getting through this year. I feel like life really hasn't been fully the same since COVID. And I know whenever it's like, oh, COVID, SARS, like, I know people always have something to say about that, but I actually do believe it hasn't been fully the same, because I feel like whether it's subconsciously or consciously in the back of our heads, there is still fear, there is still caution, there is still isolation or trauma that we have gone through. So I want to give you guys a major shout out for surviving this year. I want to give myself a major shout out for surviving this year. I feel like a recap of this year was, I started off, I was in the UK. I met my partner for the first time. Amazing. We're still going strong, baby. We're still going strong. And then I was with my best friend. And then I had a job. It was amazing. I had my podcast at Crooked, dare we say, with my best friends, Jose and Alicia. It was great. The podcast was like going well. Like, we were so happy. I was working my full-time job. I was living in LA with my best friend. It was honestly ideal. And then The spring was a bit hard. It was good, but it was hard because I feel like we were kind of figuring out like what our next move was. This was before, this was before kind of shit. I don't want to say shit hit the fan, but I really had a lot of realizations of what I wanted to do and who I wanted to become. I feel like this year was really pivotal for who I am as a person. And then I got laid off from my job in late June. It was hard because I was really happy. It was amazing. I thought I was really doing something, but the job market. I feel like such a stock bro being like, just the job market, dude. We're in a hiring freeze, dude. Like, I'm just going to shove pickleballs up my asshole and then I'm going to cold plunge with my chosen family, but they're actually my coworkers. And then I'm going to hit 18 holes and then jack off to Dogecoin. Yeah. Does that make sense? And so I kind of feel like it was just pivotal for me. And then I decided after that in June that if I'm not going to have a job, then I'm going to travel. And I'm grateful that I have the privilege where I got to be able to travel. I had money saved up. I was going to Lebanon with my family. I was going to see my partner, my best friend, my friends in London. And so I last minute decided in like June, I'm going to give up my rent in August in LA. I'm going to get out of the lease. I am going to move to New York in the fall. I don't know how. I don't have a place to live. I'm only going to go to New York for 3 months to figure out who I am. I might apply to grad school. I might not apply to grad school. I don't know who I am. I need a job, but also I can't be applying to jobs right now if I'm going to be traveling. How do I go about this? It was a lot of back and forth of not knowing what my next move was going to be. And I'm all for spontaneity and, living on the edge and like, what's the next step? But it brought me so much stress that I didn't know how to cope. So I became very agitated. I was easily upset at things. I would cry all the time and I just didn't know how to cope with things. And I stopped therapy mid-year because I was away and you can't do therapy unless you're in the state that your therapist is certified in. And it was just a lot. And then here I am looking back at that all those months later. And I think I would say this. I kind of feel like it ebbs and flows, but I think I'm one of the happiest I've been. And I'm not saying full happiness, like, oh my God, like this is the most beautiful I've felt. This is the blah, blah, blah. But no, but I think I'm the most confident in my choices for the year. And I asked so many people, like throughout like my closest friends, like, what should I do? I asked, my girlfriend, my grandparents, my parents, my brother, like, what do I do? What do I stay in New York? Do I not stay in New York? How long do I stay at home for? Like, what job should I apply to? How do I go about this? Do I do grad school? Like, who am I? What am I doing constantly? But I think I realized the biggest thing that I learned was sometimes the best advice that you can get is from yourself. And it's actually reflecting on your goals, what you want, what you need, and where you're at. And I always say this. In college, they asked us in our senior year for like one of my acting classes, like write a 5-year plan and then submit it. And I told the professor, I was like, I'll write the essay. I'll hit 5,000 words, honey. But I actually think this is a joke. I don't think you can write a 5-year plan. I am very big on the sense of like, I think when you plan, God or the universe laughs, honey. Like, I don't think that I could have planned. And you know what? I wrote that in the essay. I literally said, I think this is a joke. I think this prompt sets us up for failure rather than success. Because I wrote in my 5-year plan, I don't know what the next 5 years is going to bring, but I know what the next year I want. I know the goals that I'm setting for myself, and I hope I can achieve that by 5 years. But if not, no big deal. I keep working. And little did we fucking know that the next spring would have COVID. That was the most Arab thing. Little did we know that we would not have, but we would have COVID, SARS-19. Yalla. I think that's the biggest thing I learned about this year is genuinely trust my gut and do what I want to do so long as I'm working for it. Never in my life would I have imagined to be taking like a sketch writing SNL class in New York. I don't drive anywhere. Like I take that, and like New York is it is a big part of it, but also like going back to Lebanon this summer. I think if I was still working, I don't think I'd be able to. Going to my home, seeing the rubble that is still our flat because of the Beirut explosion in 2020, seeing my girlfriend for multiple times, because we do long distance, so it's good to see her more than just once every couple months. Staying with my best friend, going to Ibiza with her, being with my brother and sister out, staying with my grandparents in Lebanon, coming home for a little bit and like making money at home and like making friends here and kind of just like being on that grind. I think the biggest lesson I've learned in 2023 is genuinely to trust myself wholeheartedly. We always talk about loving yourself. We always talk about unconditional love, self-love, self-acceptance, blah, 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 blah. Ho, 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 Merry fucking Christmas. But I don't think it's that. I think for it to really be fruitful, you have to trust yourself. So that's what I did. And for 2024, I have gone back and forth, and I'm just kind of like, do I want to do like goals, things that I want, blah, blah, blah. And like, obviously I have goals, and obviously I want to be able to do them, but I don't think I want to share it with you. I don't, because I feel like everything that is so career, self-love, I feel like anything, it's just so personal. And I just feel like I want to do that for myself. Just like with my terms and conditions list, after I wrote it, I shared it with you when I was ready. And I think that's what I'm going to do for my 2024. But all I know is I want big things. I want great things. And I have a good feeling about 2024. I know I was on TikTok, as in a university. I look at TikTok like it's low key, like a university. It's free education. Why has no one ever said that? TikTok is literally free education if like the United States actually gave a shit about funding education for its citizens. Why am I high? Everyone say hi to Katarina, who was almost castrated last episode. Come on.
Hi guys, how are you? I can't speak on this because if I speak on this,
I haven't told them the tea of what happened, so I'm not going to say anything.
Don't say the tea.
I'm not going to say the tea, but because of Katarina's last episode, tea happened. Tea was in the kettle so hot.
They came for me again. That's all I have to say. They,
capital TH, they them came for you.
Yeah, anyways, to do what you will with that. But if you're...
Anyways, just go, Kat. Stop talking before you get into trouble.
No, they can't censor my free speech. It's my First Amendment right. Censor me and, well, you're breaking the law, mama. Not just doing me wrong. But
well, CNN, Fox News, New York, everyone else is doing it, so I'm sure they'll censor you. It's not a big deal.
That's just the life of being an Arab right now, right?
Or just any marginalized community.
That too.
T. Anywho, do you guys want to know how I talk to my sister? To my brother or my sister or anyone I really find endearing, I'm like, hi, baby. Guys, I look like I got the color sucked out of me. Stop. I don't want you to look at me right now. See, another thing about 2023 is I've kind of gone crazy kooky. 2024, I was on TikTok, and like I said with the education, I was seeing so many astrologists say this, that like it is the year for everyone's careers. Like, I don't know about love life. I don't know about friendship, family, money, blah, blah, blah. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. But I know our careers are going to be bussin'. Was that the right term? Probably not. Do I sound really ignorant right now? Absolutely. Pivoting. What we're going to do right now is really quickly pivot. If you're a dancer, you love to pivot. You love to pivot so hard. We're pivoting right now. And what we're going to do is discuss not to start World War III/4 at the dinner table this holiday season. Okay? I'm just going to pitch to you a couple things that you might hear. These are things I vehemently disagree with. These are things that I don't like. These are things that I will fight anyone at. Okay? Or anyone for. Okay? Got it.
We need our policemen to... Who are you going to call when someone breaks into your house? Who are you going to call first? A police officer. That's why we need our police.
When you hear something like that, what you do is, there's two avenues, right? One, you say, put your head down and genuinely don't argue with someone who is ignorant and willfully ignorant, because they're not going to learn anything. Or you could take the road that I usually go on, and you could start fighting. spit them with facts. I think if you're going to be knowing that someone in your family or someone who's a family friend who is ignorant and uneducated on these things, like social issues, like prison reform, body autonomy, women's rights, queer rights, climate, anything that's going on, there's always two ways. You can always put your head down and just genuinely brush it off, which a lot of people do. And I really admire people like that, quite frankly, because it preserves your peace so much, where I feel like I can't do that. I have to fight with you. I have to argue with you. I have to tell you how you are objectively incorrect. I will try to do this in the most respectful way possible. Not even try. I will be respectful, because I don't want to look like the angry woman to be telling you that. But that's just my little TED talk of that. So there's always two avenues for what you can do. That's so funny. When I was saying that, my dad literally walked down the stairs and he saw me say there's two avenues for fighting with someone, and then turned right back up the stairs. Love you, Dad. And I also have to say something. If you know that there might be someone really embarrassing that you know who is going to say something, you can always spit in their food before you serve it if the party's at your house. Actually, don't do that, because then, God, COVID. Like, see, you could never win for being a good person. But I genuinely would say, when you approach these conversations with people that you might not agree with, that really steer your gears, or actually will say things to you that you know you're not gonna be thrilled to hear, I think, yeah, protect your peace 100%. But I also think, like, if you have a privilege to say something, why don't you? That's just me. And like, listen, family time, you're always going to argue with people. I don't think you should shun them, isolate yourself, isolate them from anything, because then change actually doesn't happen. I do agree with that. I don't think we should always shut out people who we disagree with, because then what comes of it? Nothing. Just polarization even more. So I think when you're meeting with that like crazy uncle, or that weird fucking cousin, or like that aunt that drinks like 9 glasses too many, I think you can kind of come at them. I think in like a very stealth mode kind of way. Just give them the tea and spit them with facts. So that's why it's important for you to be educated on what you're talking about on, I feel like, every aspect, but it's also impossible to be educated about everything, but at least try to be. I don't know if that helped at all, because all I know is like, I'm ready to fucking rumble. Like, put me in WME. No, put me in William Morrison endeavors. No, put me in the fucking ring, boss. I will. You come for me, or you come for human rights that I stand for. Let's talk. Honey, fuck the club up, Nikki. Fuck you guys. I forgot to add one of the biggest things. I forgot to add about one of the biggest things to debrief of the week. Nicki Minaj's new album. That's all I had to say with that. Anyways, next topic. Wait, no, I'm not finished with that topic. I think you need to choose a room in whatever house or place, restaurant, gathering, outside gathering, wherever you are for this family event, family function, family F of X, and make that your safe zone. So for me and my sisters, it's the bathroom upstairs. Why are you asking? Because everyone's going to come down to the bathroom downstairs, but to the bathroom upstairs, it's our little abode. And if we're in our room, they're going to be like, why are you staying away from us? But if you're in the bathroom, you have an excuse. I'm shitting. I'm doing diarrhea. I got my period. If you can't get your period, I'm peeing so hard. Oh, I'm constipated. Oh, I'm just washing my hands. I'll be down in a sec. You need a safe room. You know how like billionaires that have like massive homes and they have a bunker? That's my upstairs bathroom. Does that make sense? Everyone needs a bunker, but it's hard to be a billionaire, so just choose a room in your house. That is the bathroom upstairs. We have a squatty potty up there too. Not sponsored, but love you. And so with all of that said, protect your peace, know what you want, speak for what's right, enjoy the holiday season. Don't fight too much, kids. Be good to your parents. And yeah. And I also think I want to do my predictions of 2024 and the ins and outs. Should we get started? So, I want to preface this by saying, my girlfriend sent me a TikTok about trends and how the most accurate when it comes to trends or forecasting for what's up to come next. The biggest platform to do this correctly is Pinterest. They have people fully staffed who are all about the predictions on what's next. My predictions. Let's talk. I think from the get-go, we are going to have glamorized athleisure. What do I mean by this? Well, you saw in the Balenciaga fashion show in Los Angeles that everything was sweatsuits with heels, oversized everything with the dark black glasses. I don't think skinny sunglasses are in anymore. I think it's the thick, big, chunky glasses that we saw a couple years ago. I think that's going to be coming back. Second, I think that glimmer and eyeshadow, anything sparkly is in, specifically with the eye region, and we're not going to do any more like baked matte eyeshadows. I predict that Hailey Bieber Rhode is going to come out with a highlight bomb, beam, highlight stick, shimmer, eyeshadow thing, whatever you call it. Whether it's for your eyes, your cheekbones, your nose, your lips, something for a base. And the reason why I think that is because if you watch closely to her TikTok channels, Rhode's TikTok, any of her social media, she has her makeup artist, Mary Phillips, who is an incredible makeup artist, by the way, does her beat, she does her base, her makeup, everything, the contour, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to her lips, she always does it. She does the lining, she does the balm, she does the lipstick, everything. And recently, she's been doing just with her fingers. Look, it looks like I'm about to finger myself. But she does a little bit on her eyes of a shimmery sparkle that looks like a highlighter, but for your eyes. And she does it on multiple videos of just using her fingers. And I think when she's introducing something, she'll slowly bring it in to get the people talking a little bit. So I have a prediction. Rhode's going to slowly transition into makeup as well as skincare. Cool. Next, I think at the next presidential debate, when it comes to the Democratic nominee and the Republican nominee, I think there's going to be a low-key coup, a low-key insurrection. I think QAnon's going to come back into the picture because you really haven't heard of QAnon much these days, or at least I haven't, maybe because I'm not a part of it. But I think they're going to be coming back, and I feel like there's going to be something really bad where they throw something at a presidential candidate. I'm not saying that's okay, but we see so many people at concerts throwing things, and I feel like that's not going to stop just because it's now political. I feel like they're going to have to do a rescheduling for an actual debate because it's going to be for safety reasons. Maybe that's daunting, but it's true. I really do think we're at that climate. Oat milk, gone. We're leaving oat milk in 2023. I think whole milk is in. I think low fat perhaps, but I feel like people are slowly bringing dairy back into their life, which I'm all like, let's do it. You know what I'm going to do is bring dairy back. Bring back our girls. No, bring dairy back. I think there's going to be a Good Luck Charlie reboot. Don't know why. I feel like Bridget Medler has kind of been on the rise. She has like 2 masters. She has a PhD. I'm pretty sure she's in law school right now. Like, she is killing it. She's at Harvard. And I really think they're going to be like, one more time. We just need you this one last time. And Charlie, like the little girl, is now like grown up in high school. So I'm just kind of like, I feel like Disney's going to really push for a Good Luck Charlie reboot. I think slowly but surely in 2024, because people are making most of like some of their money or any of their clout on Instagram or specifically TikTok lives or Twitch lives. And I think people are going to start giving at-home births on live. I think it's a missed opportunity if you're not doing that. I feel like that grabs the attention right then and there. Obviously, you should sign a waiver when you're saying I consent to seeing this because you don't want to just see a fat fucking coochie or whatever it may be, a C-section, up in your camera or in your phone. But I think people are going to start transitioning into that. And I think that's a great idea. What's trending? I fear the American flag. And I mean that in the most derogatory way. What's trending? I fear to say it, the American flag. And I say that very derogatory because I think everyone's going to be like this. You know how camo is in, like, so camo core? I think they're going to bring back the American flag, but in like a fashion statement type sense. Not like, yeehaw, USA, I love our troops, but more like, fuck US. But at the same time, like, low-key our flags kind of ride. Like, I think that's where it's going. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. But do I see it forthcoming? Absolutely. I think Kendall Jenner in 2024 is going to come out as bi-curious. I don't know why. I feel like it's going to calm some of the shit that's going on with the Kardashian family because I feel like they're just slowly plummeting. And I know they're like really rich and great, but like like, where's the personality? There's nothing there. And I'm not saying that's like throw shade. Maybe it's because I don't know them, but like I think they're going to try to spark things up because they're kind of losing us. And Kendall Jenner's going to be like, I volunteer as tribute to be the little queer of the family. And I think that's what it's going to go. And we all know Kylie is, but like, she's not going to do it. I think the US and the UK is going to be publicly investigated by the International Criminal Court for war crimes. I'll leave it at that. Winter sports. I feel like summer sports, surfing, but anything like sailing, anything that's to do with the summer, I feel like it's gone. I feel like we're going to bring back winter sports of snowboarding, skiing, ice hockey, anything to do with the winter. But 'tis the season, ho, ho, ho. I think that's what we're getting into. Hot tea in the morning. I think coffee's out as I sip my espresso. I think coffee's out. I think, oh, that's really good. I think people are going to start wanting to do this. Like, I think caffeine, everyone's going to realize like a massive research is going to come out about caffeine and how bad it is for you. And I think people are going to really stray away from it. Also going back to the Kardashians, I think the Kardashians are going to come out with a clinic. I think they're going to come out with a med spa type of clinic, and it's going to be Kardashian Clinic with a K. And I think it's going to really grow. And I think because they are known for their plastic surgery, they're known for their fashion, they're known for their aesthetics, I think they're really going to have that. On top of that, I also think jazz core is going to be a major thing. And what I mean by jazz core, you know how we had cottage core, ballerina core, so we had the ribbons, the bows, the ballet flats, the very like light pink aesthetic, blah, blah, blah. I think jazz core is coming to us live. I think, and I'm seeing this all over TikTok, I'm seeing this all over my Pinterest, but dark lit restaurants, bars, cafes, houses, apartments, that is going to be in. Jazz music has even been coming in some music that have been coming out. I think people, and I don't say jazz as like jazz music only, I think also the aesthetic of jazz. So I'm thinking like low-key jazz thinker. I'm thinking like the French beret hats. I'm thinking like small little hats, darker aesthetic of wearing like more black and red. I'm thinking like a blushed wine lip with like barely any eye makeup, like looking a bit tired, like French cigarette core Marlboro red honey type beat. I think quiet luxury is out. Get the fuck away from me. I think loud luxury is in, and I'm not saying that in a good or bad way, but quiet luxury, it's like, honey, why would the fuck would you spend $4,000 on a pair of jeans to act like they're not actually $4,000? My opinion. So those are a little bit of my predictions of the next year. Now, next January, I'm going to be having different predictions of fashion trends that I'll have more specifics on and what's in and what's out with a special guest. And I'm really excited about that, but I can't say who. But I think that's what's in. And I think the last thing that's in for 2024 is me core. What does that mean? Me core. I think everyone's going to have a realization of what they want their style, their aesthetic, their vibe to be. I feel like people are going to really get in tune with who they are, what they want, and what they want to impact in the world, and make that an aesthetic and make that a part of them. I think everyone's going to have like a simple type of feature. You know how in celebrities, you have a lot of people who have like one specific thing that's their thing, right? You have Sabrina Carpenter is like the first person I thought of, like her blonde bangs, right? And her cute little smile. Taylor Swift, she has her red lipstick. Remy Wolf, you have like the kind of messy look with the like never really giving a fuck about things. Like that's her vibe. And I feel like we're really coming into that. So I feel like everything's going to be a little bit different next year. And so I was also listening to this one thing. I keep saying, well, one last thing, but actually I keep seeing, and Emma Chamberlain made her podcast episode about like fashion trends, but she was saying that there's going to be like Parisian core, like Sperry's sailor shit's going to come back in, and like Abercrombie and Fitch skinny jeans. And I want to make this very clear, okay? This is a threat. If you bring back skinny jeans, I look like Donald Trump, I will lose my shit. I will lose it. I will lose it. I can't do it. I can't do the skinny jeans. I'm tired of it. I already gave in to low rise. I gave in to low rise, and I'm tapping out. I'm tapping the fuck out. I'm not doing skinny jeans. Wrong bitch, wrong era, wrong time. Wrong. Anyways, that's my predictions. That's me. I'm like going crazy. I'm like, if you guys do this, this is a threat. Mom, I'll do it. I'll leave and I'll never come back. And you just see like that little like fucking like cartoon of like that ant with like a stick and a red polka dot like bandana that's holding their stuff. And it's like, I'm going downtown, like a Chris Stapleton song is playing. And you're just like walking. I'm like, Mom, I'll leave and I'll never come back. That is what I will say to you if you bring back skinny jeans. So help me God. Wahiyat Allah. And no, that's not a slur before you were like, oh, Arabic, blah, blah, racist. That means I swear to God. I swear to God. Okay? Whew. Should we just have a deep breath together? I have a good feeling about the next year. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm almost grateful I don't know what's going to happen. But I know we're all destined for goodness. I don't know why 2024, it seems good. I have a good feeling. I'm proud of you for all that you went through in 2023. I know it wasn't easy. Whatever it is, whatever plight or family or personal love, whatever career, anything that you went through, you made it out. You made it out another year. And what a blessing that is that we get to have you here. I'm excited, you guys. You're all the fucking main character. And I expect you to do the most main character fucking shit when the clock strikes 12 on New Year's Eve. Do you understand? I'm so excited for this. I love you all. Happy holidays. Happy fucking New Year's. And I'll see you next year. Bye. Make sure to like, subscribe, download all future Main Character with Yasmin episodes, and major thank you to our incredible editor and producer, Max Shepardson. I'll see you next week. Bye.